Welcome to the channel. Today I am going to share a video on another topic. Basically, my channel is based on environmental conservation and climate change activism. Before moving any further, first of all, do remember to subscribe the channel. So let's start the video. Okay, before moving towards the main topic, first of all, let me share a few lines. According to William Shakespeare, his life was gentle and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, "This was a man." So, after that, let's move towards the concept of environmental conservation. So, today's topic is restoration ecology. As the name suggests, restoration ecology means restoration of disturbed and degraded nature. Basically, restoration means returning a biological community as nearly as possible to a pristine pre-disturbance condition. So let's see that what is rehabilitation. Rehabilitation may seek only to repair ecosystem functions. Basically, it is the healing process. Now let's see that what is reintroduction. Reintroduction is transplantation of organisms from some external source such as a nursery where native species are grown under controlled conditions to a site where they have been reduced or eliminated. The next term is remediation. Remediation uses chemical, physical, or biological methods to remove pollution. Then comes reclamation. Reclamation employs stronger, more extreme techniques to clean up severe pollution or create a newly functioning ecosystem on a seriously degraded or barren site. And then the next term is mitigation. Mitigation means compensation for destroying a site by purchasing or creating one of more or less equal ecological value somewhere else. Now let's see that what is the role of ecologists in the restoration process. Restoration ecologists work in the real world. While they may dream of returning a disturbed site to its untouched situation, they have to deal with the actual constraints of a specific place as they find it. Recovery is linked to classical succession theory that suggests each site has a predictable, stable climax community that will eventually result if nature is left to its own devices through a process known as succession. Now let's see that what is the role of nature in restoration. Nature can be remarkably resilient. Nature has a strong, a very amazing regenerative power. Now let's see that what are the elements of ecological restoration. First of all, let's see that what are the general principles. General principles in restoration are drawn from a variety of sciences, and understanding of the importance of biodiversity comes from ecology. Principles of groundwater movement come from hydrology. Soil science provides insights into soil health, and so on. Different types of restoration involves separate challenges. Wetland restoration, for example, involves a variety of efforts at re-establishing hydrologic connections, plant and animal diversity, weed removal. Then comes forest restoration. Basically, forest restoration, on the other hand, requires a different set of steps that may include controlled burning, selective cutting, weed removal, control of deer and other herbivores. So, basically, let's see that what are the five main components of restoration. Number one is removing physical stresses such as pollutants. Second component is controlling invasive species. Third one is replanting. Fourth one is captive breeding and re-establishing fauna, or some people call it fauna as well. Well, I think so that it's fauna actually. So now let's see that the next component, and the next component is monitoring. So there are basically five main components of ecological restoration. So I can repeat them. Number one is removing physical stresses. Number two is controlling invasive species. Number three is replanting. Number four is captive breeding and re-establishing fauna. And number fifth is monitoring. Now let's see that what are the benefits of ecological restoration. Number one is ecological balance, then comes renewable natural resources, then comes ecosystem, then comes economic development, environmental quality, safeguard against pollution, soil conservation, wind erosion, check the extension balance, maintains ecological balance, attract rainfall, control floods, linked with cultural and civilization, supply of raw material, minor forest products, employment opportunities, revenue receipts, fodder for cattle, and foreign exchange earners. And then the next one is quality of life, water supplies, a cradle to civilization. So now let's see that what is the last component. Let's discuss the last component of restoration ecology, and that is monitoring. Which is monitoring is the key aspect of restoration. So for monitoring, some of the main themes that are required are the analysis of the ratio of land into open water, plant species composition and relative abundance, salinity. Then comes ecological restoration in own neighborhood. So how can we conduct ecological restoration in our own neighborhood? Number one is pick up litter, remove invasive species, replant a native species, plant a tree or a garden. So let's move towards the conclusion, and the conclusion is that humans have caused massive damage and degradation to a wide variety of biological communities. But there are many ways to repair this damage and to restore or rehabilitate nature. Ideally, we might prefer to return a site to its pristine pre disturbance condition, but that often isn't possible. A more pragmatic goal is simply to develop a useful, stable, self-sustaining ecosystem with as many of its original ecological elements as possible. Sometimes it's enough to leave nature alone to heal itself, but often we need to intervene in some way to remove or discourage unwanted organisms while also promoting the growth of more desirable species. In the last, I just want to share few lines by a restoration pioneer, and his name was Aldo. And according to him, a thing is right when it attempts to preserve the integrity, stability, and beauty of the biotic community. It is wrong when it tends otherwise. Some modern ecologists object that ecosystems are highly dynamic and species appear and disappear. Characteristics such as integrity, health, stability, beauty, and moral responsibility tend to be human interpretations rather than scientific facts. Still, we need to have goals for restoration that the public can understand and accept. And there are lots of opportunities for all of us to get involved.